Welcome to the CFD research presentation on carbon-carbon composite manufacturing process variability and its impact on flight performance. This was originally an Air Force STTR topic, but we are now performing the work for the Navy. The original topic number was Air Force 19A-TO21. Our program monitors are with the SSP, and our principal investigator is Dr. Vernon Cole. Here is a brief overview of CFD research. We were founded in 1987 in the home of our founder, Dr. Ashok Singhal. We focus on technology development and services that leverage our knowledge and capabilities developed over 35 years and spin out products for commercial applications. As seen in the footprint graphic, we are located in Huntsville, Alabama in the Cummings Research Park with offices and personnel throughout the United States, including a strong presence in Dayton, Ohio, near Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. We have multiple government clients, with the Army as the leading DoD branch due in part to proximity of our headquarters to Redstone Arsenal. The composites and materials-related work is cross-cutting, supported by the Army, Air Force, and NASA, in addition to the Navy. We have a top-secret facility clearance, which is potentially valuable for follow-on work from this effort. We have grown very steadily, particularly over the last 10 years, and are now over 260 employees, while still maintaining a large fraction of our employees with advanced degrees to support technology development. We are continually maturing and advancing our infrastructure to support expanding services contracts, including obtaining AHUS 9100, ISO 9001, and CMMI Level 2 certifications. For this effort, the Navy challenges and interests strongly overlap with the Air Force concerns outlined in the original topic. The carbon-carbon composite materials that both these agencies and others are interested in for structural applications in extreme conditions, particularly very high temperatures, are complex systems and can be difficult to produce repeatably. Fabrication is typically a multi-step process, beginning with woven carbon fibers arranged in the desired shape. Resin is infiltrated into the fibers, then heat-treated to form a carbon matrix that is bonded with the carbon fibers. As some material was lost during the heat treatment, this infiltration and pyrolysis heat treatment is continued over multiple cycles. The details of the as-produced composite structure and the resulting mechanical performance and properties depend on both the starting materials and the process conditions that are used during the fabrication. Modeling this slow process can potentially allow us to predict the outcome much faster than experiments alone and provide insight into how the composite structure develops during processing, thereby reducing the number of these very slow material build and test cycles during material development. One of the Navy interests is capturing the impact of variability in the starting resin and woven fiber materials, particularly if suppliers change. Details of the process itself, such as the pressures and temperature histories used in each cycle, will also affect the quality of the final product. We want to predict the sensitivity of the geometry of the final component, distortions that arise during these heating and cooling cycles, physical and mechanical properties, and internal variations such as the remaining porosity or defects including broken or distorted fibers that could weaken the composite. Our target is to demonstrate the impact of the starting materials and any changes or variability in the process conditions on the composite performance to help accelerate the transition from designs and small-scale tests, as seen in the inset figure on the right, to actual flight tests with repeatable composite properties. The application for Navy operational use and improvement arises directly from the multiple sources of variability and uncertainties in the composite production. The properties of the final composite depend on small-scale features. For example, unfilled pores or cracks in the carbon matrix and their location relative to the fiber reinforcement, in addition to any larger-scale defects such as a portion of the component that resin did not reach during infiltration. The starting materials are complex reinforcements woven from thousands of individual fibers and polymer resins with a distribution of molecular weights and reactive chemical groups. Given all of these sources of potential variability in the as-built composite, models capable of predicting which characteristics of the key inputs must be tightly controlled and how sensitive the composite properties are to process variables can enable fewer of the slow build and test cycles to speed production of quality components. The solution that we are developing is a composite fabrication process model that predicts the response of a sample of material to each process step. We are leveraging well-established software for the fundamental numerical parts of the model and some established model formulations to speed verification and validation of the developed tools. The model meets the specifications described earlier, capturing the geometry and configuration of the starting materials and their properties. By modeling the process at the scale of a unit cell with the fibercloth geometry, we can predict where pores and cracks are most likely to form within a typical unit cell, in addition to large-scale effects such as imperfect distribution of the resin, incomplete pyrolysis, or excessive stresses and distortions in different sections of the final part. Another unique and innovative aspect of this effort is that we are linking the process model with other capabilities CFD research has developed for detailed simulations of how the composite component performs in flight, or how to plan flight trajectories to safely use available materials. We have verified the key components of the model against benchmark tests. A first round of composite processing for state-of-the-art materials has been completed, and our partners have performed thorough characterization including CT scans before and after key process steps, as well as mechanical testing. The model has been shown to predict the distribution of porosity well, with stresses and strains also agreeing with the location of cracks and fiber bundle separation seen in the experimental samples. During the option, we will begin linking the description of the manufactured composite that comes out of this model to other tools that can predict in-flight performance. This includes not just how a component built with this material responds to the temperatures and pressure distributions in a flight environment, but also using the as-built state as a starting condition for predicting degradation and damage that would happen in flight. By modeling the steps of the process in woven fiber unit cells, in addition to component scale models with unit cell average properties, our approach lets us directly predict how the fiber weave and the way the layers are aligned affects any residual porosity or other as-built defects. This also gives us a direct path to more mature models developed under other efforts that predict not only the as-built composite stress-strain response, but also how it accumulates damage under loads in its strength. The overall toolchain allows us to link starting material and process condition changes to how the component made from the composite performs in flight. These carbon-carbon composites are primarily used for aerospace applications because they are one of the few structural materials that keep their strength at temperatures encountered in re-entry and hypersonic flight. For the government agencies, prime contractors, and material vendors addressing these applications, our models can help speed up composite material development by cutting the number of build and test samples. By showing what material specifications and processing settings are most critical, the model results can help improve repeatability of the as-built material. Since repeatable samples are critical to getting useful information quickly during both ground and flight tests, accelerating this part of the development and insertion cycle will reduce qualification costs. As a composite material and its fabrication process transitions to application, we expect earlier maturation of the process to give high yields and faster application to new components. With appropriate material-specific input data, the models are also applicable for analyzing key process steps for related composites used in similar challenging environments, from brake pads to re-entry vehicle thermal protection systems. Our long-term vision is to provide the chain of modeling tools that address these carbon-carbon composites from starting materials and processing to as-built properties to flight performance. Near term, we would like to build out the processing models to include inputs for common legacy starting materials and adapt and apply them to additional emerging architectures, unwoven fibers, varying carbon cloth weaves, and new resins. The transition to Navy support can come indirectly through services and application for materials vendors and primes, and through direct software licensing and sales to those organizations. If you would like to learn more about our technology, please do not hesitate to reach out. Contact information for Mr. Richard Toms, who provides business development support for this effort, and for our technical point of contact, Dr. Cole, is listed on this slide. Additionally, you can visit our website at www.cfd-research.com. We look forward to engaging with you and exploring how we can work together toward a successful transition. Thank you for your time.